Today I am going to my first ever YouTube event.
Of a smile caught in the wind. Someday it'll be the last day.
So funny story, I'm actually quite nervous. I have no idea what this YouTube creator collective event is going to be like. I guess I'm just gonna kind of wait in my car for a little bit because I'm scared to be too early. Like SpongeBob, I like to always be fashionably late.
I just want to warn you, Mr. Krabs, we're always fashionably late.
But I'm very nervous. Hopefully we get to meet cool people or something. Here we go. So I walked from the parking garage basically across the street over to EP Bar, which is where this YouTube creator collective event would be taking place. And once I got there, they had me sign in and gave me a wristband. And the first thing I noticed was all of these cute little YouTube creator collective decorations all over the place. And that was a really surreal moment for me just because, you know, I've never been to an actual YouTube event before. So seeing like actual YouTube things in person, like it was just really crazy. I never thought I would ever be here. They also gave everyone a badge which you could write your name and channel name on top of. And then after that, like, I don't know, it was pretty much just everyone hanging out in a bar, which I'm honestly not used to at all. Even just by looking at me, you can probably tell that I don't go to bars. So just like standing around here, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. But after like everyone was just kind of chatting with people for a while, some of the YouTube staff actually came up and did like a little introduction for everyone.
Each other, hang out, form connections, ask each other tips and tricks. There's no better way to learn how to upload your shorts.
But after this introduction, you know, it was pretty much just like hang out and do whatever. They had an open bar, which was really cool. Considering that I don't drink, I ended up just getting like a club soda and I was just like carrying that around with me the whole time. But they also had this ramen bar where you could like order your own custom ramen, and that was really cool. So it was basically just a giant like hanging out and I guess like mingle session for 3 hours. Not gonna lie, I really don't do well in these types of situations. My social anxiety really gets the better of me. And it's so funny because there was a photographer there like taking pictures, you know, throughout the whole thing. About 2 or 3 days later, I get an email with all of the photos that the photographer took. And oh my god, am I just the most socially awkward, just weird guy I've ever seen in my life. Because in most of these pictures, I am just the loser at the party who is standing in the corner by himself. I look so dumb and god, it makes me cringe looking at this picture. In any case, I did get to meet some really cool people. I had some nice chats about like, you know, YouTube strategy and hearing about all the cool things that people are making. Like it was really interesting to hear, you know, all these different niches that these people are coming from. And finally at 8 o'clock, I decided to head out. I had to ask one of the YouTube staff members to take a picture of me. They were very kind. Hi, I don't think I've talked to that many people in my entire life. My voice hurts. I feel socially awkward. It feels like I've embarrassed myself countless times in one night. But it was really cool. I had a fun time meeting people. It's really crazy because I never like think of, you know, other YouTubers here in Hawaii. And so it was cool to like actually see other people who do this kind of stuff. Also really cool to like meet the YouTube staff. I'm gonna go home now because my social battery is just like completely dead. Okay. Hi, here I am in the comfort of my own home. I've spent the last week trying to recharge my social battery after this event, but I just wanted to reflect on this experience because it was something that was totally out of my comfort zone, but I wanted to do anyway. Well, first of all, I guess I can show some of the memorabilia I got. They had these YouTube Creator Collective little tote bags. It has YouTube Creator Collective on it, so that's cool. At the actual event, they had like markers so you could like decorate it if you wanted to, you know, draw all kinds of stuff. There were people even like asking for everyone's autograph, so that was cool. Here is my YouTube Creator Collective wristband from when I entered the venue. And then also, here's my lanyard and badge, which was really cool to get. This made me feel so official, and you know, as someone who I've dreamed of being like a YouTuber my entire life, it's really cool because this honestly like gives me some, you know, I guess credibility, or like it makes me feel like I'm actually going in the right direction, which is like very very nice and very meaningful to me. There's also this creator collective lanyard, which is really cool. So these are some really fun things just to remember this event by. I met all kinds of cool people and everyone was just kind of like taking pictures of each other's badges with their name on it. I would also like to give a shout out to some people who gave me their business cards. I was talking to these really nice people from Level Up RN, and they make like sort of educational and, you know, kind of advice videos for students going through medical school. They were telling me about how like they sell flashcards, and I think their flashcards are like #1 on Amazon or something. Obviously, I know nothing about med school, you know, I can barely speak English. But I thought that was like a really cool and, you know, like very sort of helpful type of content that they make. I also met Jade Lunn from Jade Agency Hawaii. She was telling me about how she did like, you know, branding and social media stuff for Olive Garden here in Hawaii. I think she also did Foodland Farms. Very nice and kind person, so she was really cool, and it was really interesting to kind of hear that side of like content creation. I did not realize how big these creators were at this event because I felt bad. Like I didn't want to be there and be talking to these people and like looking at their YouTube channel right in front of them. So what I did was like, you know, I got all of their badges, or like I wrote down their channel names, and then when I got home from the event, I went and looked up all of their socials and whatnot. Ava Jules, who was one of our YouTube creator champions for Hawaii, she has like over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. There was also Hannah Malosh, who has like over 1 million followers. So I just thought it was really funny, and I felt really dumb afterwards because, you know, here I was talking to these huge creators, just casually asking them like, oh, what kind of videos do you make? But they're like massive creators, and I don't know, I just thought that was funny. And if anything, I think it just shows that, you know, they were very kind and like very down to earth regardless of their following. Something that I always wonder is, you know, if I did have that big of a following, would it affect sort of my personality and how I act? But they were just super nice and super down to earth. I found out that Ava Jules went to the same high school as me. And also big shout outs to the YouTube staff. They were super duper kind as well. I talked to one of the YouTube staff who is, I think, like the YouTube gaming manager or something. She was super nice, and there was also a very embarrassing moment where when she was talking to me, I didn't know that she was a YouTube staff member, and I was like, oh, so what kind of videos do you make on your channel? She's like, oh, I actually work at YouTube. But everyone was super nice, and yeah, it was really nice to, you know, be able to meet creators who are also from this tiny little island in the Pacific Ocean. I always feel kind of isolated, and like, you know, I never know if there's other people in the state of Hawaii who are trying to do the same things that I do. So it was just really crazy to see that, you know, there are in fact other people out there who are kind of on this similar journey as me, I guess. And speaking of my journey, if you want to hear about my journey on YouTube, check out the video below. I don't know if anybody from the YouTube Creator Collective event, or, you know, if anyone from YouTube sees this video, thank you for a very fun and cool event. For now, thank you so much for watching. My name is Chase, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.